And something else I'll be working on is organizing the folders so that we have a place for you to go whenever you need any documents or resources.
Hmm.
And
So on the Zoom meeting, like when I do my talking to them, I'm not real familiar with Zoom.
Mhm.
I just know I've joined a lot of meetings, but I've never hosted any.
Yeah. And what I can do, we can either play around with it.
Uh-huh.
It'd probably be better if we did that when you could be on the laptop. We can play
Yeah.
around with it so you know how to get to the various tools, or
Okay.
I can join you on the
Okay.
first interview. Or Anna, I think, knows her way around Zoom pretty well. Um, I am right now, I would like to not extract Anna from the process, but I do
Right.
slowly want to make this your bag and move her
Right.
to other things.
Right.
So you let me know, what your preference is as far as let's use Joseph as a use case. We would like to get him moved in. What was the impression that you got as far as his level of urgency and how soon he needed to move?
Well, he's a pretty easygoing guy. When I called him yesterday, he said he was at work. He was working a job, and I asked him to call me when he was done. He said he would. I never heard from him. I didn't reach out to him yet because I wanted to have this meeting first. So he's on the schedule. As soon as we're done, I'm going to call him again and put a hard day time on
Okay.
the.
Okay. On our end, like I know Anna mentioned something about the house being ready by end of day Wednesday. I'll communicate with you guys later today to figure out what exactly those tasks are that still need to be done. But
Okay.
for all intents and purposes, like Joseph should be even able to move in today, right?
I think so. I think really all I have left to do is install some locks and hang one more TV, and the house should be livable. We've got the refrigerators in place. We've got all our tools and hygiene and all that stuff is ready. All the drug tests are put up. I need to put locks on those cabinets.
Okay. So I was not planning for those cabinets. I noticed because I thought that all that stuff was going in the living room, the front cabinets. Um,
They're the same cabinet.
what's that?
They're the same cabinets.
Tell me about the decision because I can see it both ways. Why'd you guys decide to go with the bathroom?
Uh, I don't know. It just seems like a more logical place for those things to be because they're bathroom items, both of them.
Mhm.
Uh, it gets them out of the common area, so it feels like it's a little bit more of a secure location,
Okay.
and it fills up that space in the living room for more common utilities
Okay.
like eating supplies or extra towels or stuff like that,
Okay.
sheets.
Okay. Do you think that we need additional locks? Because I had ordered enough locks for one side of those living room cabinets. So do you think you'll need four locks for those doors plus more locks for the bathroom?
What we've got in there are the um, hygiene caddies, and then extra towels and whatever linens. I don't know if that's something that you really necessarily need to lock up.
Mhm.
That I'm more concerned with the locks on the where the drug tests are.
Okay. Okay. So we'll see if people start running off with towels and caddies.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what else? Tara did contact the laundry service that you gave her last night. And
Okay.
they gave her a call back last night, but she is in New York and she wakes up very early, so she goes to bed very early. But she's gonna
Right.
follow up with them this afternoon. Um, what else? There is what did I want to talk to you? There was something. Oh, something that's been added to the intake form is
Yeah.
asking the person if they have a vehicle that they own or are using that they plan to keep at the property.
Okay.
And that'll be something that we consider because let's say we already have five people with cars living at the home. Once we have more homes, if somebody else has to have a car with them, we may need to put them at another house or just information we need to stay on top of.
You think we've got 5 car parking spots?
I think we have more than that. I just don't want to get obnoxious with the neighbors.
Right. I don't either, but I was wondering about that too for when we host meetings.
Hmm.
Parking might become an issue because I don't see why we wouldn't be able to fill up all 60 chairs. I'm thinking that a once a month speaker meeting for AA is probably going to be a big meeting. The
Yeah,
narcotics meetings aren't going to be very large. They're just not a very large group.
I've been thinking about that and I just kind of put it on the back burner with everything else that we had to do.
Yeah, it's not urgent. It's
Because
just something.
yeah, I might have gotten a little ahead of myself with the 60 chairs. Um, because it's not a commercial property.
Right.
So I don't know if we're really even allowed to have an event like that. But I guess if somebody was even having, if it was just a residential property and somebody was having a party in a house that size, they could easily have 60 people there for a party.
Yeah, they could. And this is the type of neighborhood that would have people like that.
But what do you think, what will be the regularity of those meetings?
Once a month.
Hmm.
The Narcotics Anonymous and Celebrate Recovery meetings, I'm hoping to have those once a week. But the the big meeting, that speaker meeting that I'm thinking about, would only be once a month. It doesn't have to be here. I can find another spot for that.
Yeah. Let's think about it. I mean, it's such a shame to have such a big property and the resources,
Yeah,
to not be able to use that.
that's true too. And I'm thinking that if we did that, and we then it would really ingratiate us to the community, to the recovery community, in a big way. There, everybody is just like, oh, finally, we have been praying for this, and it's everybody, it's the community at large who
Yeah.
knows that we have it and we need to address it. So, overall, I'd say it's a very warm welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So something else, I think I already mentioned that I'm gonna add the house rules to, these are some of my to-dos for today. Add the house rules to the license agreement so that it's ready for you. By the way, on the license agreement, there's also now a section for them to provide, if they are going to have a car, to provide
Okay.
their vehicle information to you.
Okay.
Um, and then the online calendar for all of us to get coordinated. And I just in a hurry, I used my old habits and I used my old Zoom account, but we do have a Haven Hall Zoom account that we can use.
Okay.
Um, for meeting with Joseph, how would you like that to go? Would you like me to hop on? Would you like Anna to be on that? Or
If
you,
you want to, I'm comfortable doing it. But if y'all want to be a part of it, it's perfectly understandable, and of
yeah.
course you're welcome.
Actually, I'm applying a brand new person, thinking
Okay.
about a new person to Joseph. Joseph is actually past the intake interview.
Right.
Um, so he just needs a phone call to say, hey, are you still interested? Um, when do you want to move in? And that's really up to you to coordinate.
Right.
Uh, as far as sending that invite, do you think maybe that should come from us? Since we'll be the final, you'll have interviewed him and you'll say, yes, I like this guy. I don't really see any other reason for him not to move in. We'll say, okay, based on all of the feedback, yes, let's get this person moved in. So at that point, I'm thinking that we just trigger the invite email. Or what do you think is the best way actually to let them know, hey, you're accepted? That needs to be a phone call, right? Like, hey, you've been
It,
accepted.
all these guys are not necessarily email appropriate. I mean, I'm a businessman. I use email all the time, but these guys just they're going to be early in their stages of recovery. Most of them, they're coming out of prison. They're not going to really have that habit of checking email or anything. They may not even have email addresses. So I think text and phone calls is probably the best way.
So we should put the check-in message, the what to expect for onboarding. We should put that in a text format.
I think so. Or maybe, just an embedded link in a text would probably be great.
Well, good idea.
There's too much information on text is never good. I found out.
Yeah. Yeah, and some people's phones it gets broken up into like 5 different messages and sent backwards.
Yeah. And a lot of them have broken screens. Like that's a very common thing.
Hmm. Okay. That's good feedback. Um, what about I've run into some guys that are like at the Salvation Army and they don't have a phone and we have to call the Salvation Army to somehow get in touch with them.
I speak to those guys 4 days a week
Okay.
in person. So that we've got a good contact with Rick. He's the shelter manager. And like I said, I've got a really good rapport with these guys. So I think we'll be able to overcome that between Rick and me communicating to each other and me being there in person.
Okay. So you can just call Rick and be like, hey, so and so's been approved. Can you please let him know to get in touch with me?
Right. Or just schedule an appointment and I'll meet him down there because he's already offered space, two rooms down there so that we can have private conversations.
Cool. Okay. Well, with the onboarding, since it's going to be a house tour,
I can
then
go down there. None of them have cars, so I'm going to have to pick them up.
you see. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have, because everything is still a work in progress. We're just moving as fast as we can. I don't really have anything else to share. Is there anything else you can think of or that you feel like you're missing right now?
Did you take a look at the dry erase board that I sent you?
Not in depth. I was on my phone and my
Sure.
eye cloudy. So I will look at it. I'll look at it in more depth today, but I feel like it looked pretty thorough and more professional than the ones I
Yeah.
showed. I appreciated.
Yeah. I think it's going to work. And there might be some things that I need to add or take away or whatever, but I think it's a good, a good start.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm really super excited and very grateful that you came into our world, Hugh.
Dude, it's
I
kismet. Everything I do is kismet for years now. It gets more and more so every day.
love it. All
Yeah.
right, well, head in there and visit with Rick if you have the opportunity to do that, and I'd love to hear how that conversation went.
Sure.
Awesome. All right, take care, Hugh.
I'll,
Let me know if you need anything
I'll,
else.
I'm going to call Joe right now and I'll let you know what he says.
Okay, cool.
Thanks. Have a good day, Jen.
You too.